I'm Toni with Toni on real estate education. Let's make preparing for the real estate exam fun. Here's a quiz to test what you know and get you exam ready. Let's dive right in.
What is equity in real estate? The difference between a property's market value and what you owe on the mortgage. What is market value? Market value is the price a property would likely sell for in the current market. What role do comps play in setting market value? Comparable sales, also known as comps, help determine a fair price based on similar recent sales. What is it called when you use borrowed money to invest in real estate? Leverage. What legally binding agreement outlines the terms of a real estate transaction? A contract. Why is a percolation test important before building a house? Because it measures how well the soil absorbs water. Why do lenders require a home appraisal before approving a mortgage? To ensure the property's value supports the loan amount. Why is a property survey important before closing a real estate deal? To confirm boundaries and avoid disputes. Why is the disclosure of hazardous materials necessary during the sale of older homes? Due to the possible presence of lead-based paint. Why is an abstract of title important in a real estate transaction? Because it summarizes the property's ownership history and any legal claims. How does a buyer get pre-approved for a mortgage? By submitting financial information to a lender who evaluates credit, income, and debts. How is the size of a property's land commonly expressed in real estate? In acres. How is the effectiveness of a home's insulation measured? By its R value. How do shopping centers boost the visibility of smaller retailers? By including anchor tenants. How is the amount of electrical current flowing through a home's wiring measured? By its amperage. Where can a property owner gain the legal ability to build or use the space above their land? Through air rights. Where do real estate agents obtain their pocket card that proves they are licensed? The Department of State. Where in a wall are vertical framing members typically found to support the structure? In the studs. Where does the property owner see an increase in value over time due to market conditions or improvements? Through appreciation. Who is a real estate professional authorized to perform a specific act such as selling a home? A special agent. Who is responsible for providing an unbiased estimate of a property's market value? An appraiser. Who provides the financing to a buyer for purchasing real estate, usually in the form of a mortgage? A lender. Who is responsible for measuring land and determining property boundaries before construction or sale? A surveyor. Who is a licensed real estate professional with broker credentials that works under a managing broker? An associate broker. When was the first federal law in the United States to prohibit discrimination in property ownership based on race? The Civil Rights Act of 1866. When was the first federal law passed that made it illegal to discriminate in housing based on race, religion, or national origin? The Fair Housing Act of 1968. When was sex added to a protected class under Fair Housing Act? In the 1974 amendment. When was the Fair Housing Act expanded to include protections for people with disabilities and families with children? The Amendment of 1988. When was the Equal Credit Opportunity Act enacted to prevent discrimination in lending? (1988).